Hello.
Greetings. Welcome.
Can y'all hear us?
Can y'all hear us?
It looks like this thing is working.
Can y'all hear us? Can somebody give us a thumbs up or a comment or something so we can make sure you guys can hear us before we get started?
Technical difficulties. We got a thumbs up right there, so I think that means.
I don't know if that thumbs up is that they can hear us or that they can. Somebody give us a message saying that they can hear us.
I can hear y'all because we didn't hear our the intro music didn't play, so
we just want to make sure we can be heard.
What is happening here? Hey y'all, hi Julia, can you hear us?
Can you hear us good, Julia? We just want to make sure our sound is coming in good.
Yeah, before we start talking and doing all of the things.
Yes, we can check our phone. While it's going.
So I'm just gonna say, just in case people can't hear us, welcome and welcome back to anyone who follows us. She said yes, she can. Thank you, Julia. You the GOAT. You the real MVP. So welcome back to those who, hey Ben,
what's up, Ben?
How you doing? To those who join us on the weekly, welcome. You're welcome once, you're welcome twice, you're welcome. I know about that Southern Baptist hospitality. Okay. So I'll let you. Okay, I am Jamie, and this is
Damien,
and this is another episode of Marriage is Real. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Hey, Johnny.
What's up,
how you doing, friend? Old friend. Hold on, y'all. I gotta put my specs on so I can look smart. Okay, there she go.
It's looking like. Can y'all see this on my shirt? I'm trying to see what color this is.
It's probably the green. Because we have what is it called, virtual background, and you have on green. Mine is kind of like that, but not. It's more grayish.
Oh well. See, I was trying to be fashionable, and that's what I get today. Maybe we can change the background.
No. It's not gonna matter because it's still virtual. But y'all tell us if it's a distraction, then I'll kick him out the frame, and then I'm gonna just go get some food, and then I'll sing for y'all so he come back.
Johnny said he's not old.
Johnny, that's right, because if you old, then that make me. So now you young, you forever young. So let's introduce our topic for tonight. I'll let you introduce it because you wanted to. You felt pretty compelled about this topic.
She be always putting this stuff on me. So we were talking about some situations that we talk about relationships quite a bit, and so we were talking about privilege, and so we started talking about wifey privilege and what it is. Is there an expectation of from a husband to a wife that she gets some type of privilege or some type of special treatment within the realms of the marriage?
Yeah, because I think about like privilege is not just, we talk a lot about it. We hear a lot about white privilege. A lot of people don't think that even exists. Some people think that it absolutely does. But the people that you may feel like is benefiting from that particular privilege, they don't always see the benefit that they have. So, they even talk about, I hear my son talk about a lot about now pretty girl privilege or pretty people privilege.
It's a lot of P's.
Tall guy privilege, wealthy privileges. Like there are just certain things, certain aspects and circumstances that you're afforded because of, the way you look, your how affluent you may be or whatever the case is. So there are privileges that people have a tendency to partake in and not even recognize it. So we're just having a conversation about like wife privilege. You know, sometimes as a wife, me being a wife, you don't always, and not just wives. So don't don't feel no type of way, but
But that's what we're
husbands
talking
too,
about tonight.
husbands too. But wife privilege, I think sometimes we can forget to be empathetic to the struggles of, and I'm saying this, black men, because I'm married to a black man, and the struggles of your man, your husband, to lead the household, to bore the brunt of whatever those responsibilities may be. So, and then there sometimes you have a privilege that he gives you based on you being his wife. Did you want to add some?
So privilege could also be considered an expectation from you from a wife, right?
I wouldn't say that it would be considered,
Keep it real.
but I'm saying I don't think that it would be an expectation because you don't even recognize that you're getting that privilege.
But most people that have privilege don't recognize that they have privilege.
Right. I guess so.
But it's something that you may just, it just happens. And if it does, this is the thing, if it doesn't happen, that's when you recognize
right.
that you have an expectation of that person
right.
based on that privilege.
Right. That's true. I guess so. In that sense, then I would guess I could say yes, it is an expectation that you may not even realize that you have.
Mm-hmm.
A certain entitlement, a certain,
that's a good word, entitlement.
What's the word? Expectation. Go ahead, baby. Let me see.
You go ahead, because I got a text.
I do too.
Oh, okay. We
are this is live, so we trying to
mailbox.
See somebody at the door. What is it?
Mailbox.
Yeah. Yes. So just tell her we're doing our live. So, and it's at the mailbox. So yeah. So what I was saying was, so we know people that, let me just say, sometimes there are relationships where they may have been in a relationship, you may have been married, or whatever the case may be. You and I talk about Baby Boy because it's one of my favorite movies. Whatever. And it was a part in the movie where I guess they had broke up, or
who is they?
Oh, I'm sorry, the main characters. I think it was Jody and Yvette. So anyway, in this particular movie, they were a couple. They had a child together. They decided, I think they broke up or whatever, and so she went to him in one particular instance, and she was like, I need this, or I need some gas, or I need some work on my car, or something like that. And he was like, and what you telling me for? So, and in her mind, she was just kind of like, oh my God, he doesn't love me anymore, because he didn't react and respond to her the way that she was used to him reacting and responding. So in that instance, that's what made me think about, okay, there are certain privileges that you have when you're in a relationship, when you're married, as a wife, as a husband.
So there's a negative connotation that sometimes can come out of wife privilege. Mm-hmm. What in your opinion, what are some of the things or the expectations that someone could have, that a wife could have, that could be viewed as negative?
You didn't get to the comment. You say it could be perceived as negative to have a privilege?
Yeah.
I mean, by whom? I don't know.
Just based on some of the things that we hear about privilege, like something that could be misconstrued as being a negative thing, or to you, there may not be. Don't be trying to show your ring. I see she talking about.
Oh boy, I didn't even recognize. I was really in thought mode. But yeah. Praise the Lord, new ring. Praise the Lord. But I don't think that there is any. To me, I don't think there's a neck. For me personally, I don't see privilege as being a negative thing. For me to be privileged, to have privileges as being your wife, I think about it. Okay, so say like for men, there are certain things that they don't do, or certain I'm talking about in the bedroom, because it's like, this is my wife, so I ain't gonna slut her out, or I ain't gonna do her like I would do, Jenny from the block, Jenny down the street, or whomever. You know what I'm saying? So that's a privilege because you are his wife. So I don't know as far as like it being negative. I don't. What negative?
So you don't think that there are any negatives?
Negatives to having privileges?
Yeah.
What would be? That's what I'm. No, I don't. Unless I'm just not thinking about it. What would you consider to be a negative to have a privilege?
Why you gonna ask me my question?
Because I'm trying to understand it from your perspective. Why would privilege?
It's not my perspective. It's just a question.
But I'm saying so why? Because you said there are some people who think that privilege could be negative. I don't know why you having privilege. Like for instance, the pretty people privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a woman come in and she look good, she got a dress on, she doing all of the things. Guys treat her a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
For that woman, what's negative about it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but do you think in her having that in that example,
mm-hmm.
in her having that privilege, that it creates an expectation
for her?
Yeah.
I think that's very subjective to okay. Whomever, to who the person is, because there was a time where I had a friend and she was an attractive woman, or she is an attractive woman, but everywhere we went, she always thought a guy was trying to talk to her, like everything. Like if he said, "Oh, hey, ma'am, how you doing? You want me to get the door?" "Oh, girl, he want me. Oh my God, and it's like,
do I know this person?
Yes, everybody don't want you, man. Some people are just being kind. Some people are just being polite and courteous. Like you cute, but you ain't all that for what you.
Yeah, because I'm a courteous person. Like I was raised in the South, so being a gentleman is just kind of second nature.
And he flirty, but go ahead.
Why do you say that?
Go on, gentlemen, go ahead.
Flirting is based on intent, so I would not consider myself a flirt.
Whatever, yeah, based on your intent. But somebody else seen it, be like, "Oh, he's flirting."
Me holding the door for a woman, I will hold a door for a 90-year-old woman just as well as a 20-year-old.
Right,
I just hold, and I hold the door for guys too. So someone's coming behind me. It's just like I said, being a southern man.
Yeah.
Being a gentleman is just kind of what was bred into me.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So so I mean, if you don't think that there's anything wrong with
I don't see how
wife privilege.
Does anybody see how having privilege would be
a negative?
Considered negative? I think where it would be negative is if that person, like you said, started to have an expectation of others.
Right, because there was a situation that came up with us that kind of prompted the whole thing, and I'm trying to remember what it was, where we were talking or something like that, or you were trying to get in contact with me,
mm-hmm.
and you was like, "Oh, look at me, got an expectation of you about something." I'm trying to remember. I can't recall what it was. I was like, "Oh, you think you got that white privilege, huh?"
Let me see. I was just gonna say hey to Palante, hey Earth's Eye, Johnny. What you do? What
Sister Earth? What's going on?
You ain't doing comments, sir.
Oh, well, they just popped up. Now,
but you said it was a situation. So I said that I have wife privilege.
Right.
I said that because I think you were on the phone. He was maybe on the phone talking to somebody, and we have this kind of code. Like if I call you and you don't answer, if I call you right back, that means you need to answer because it could be an emergency. Because sometimes you're in the middle of a conversation, you might be talking to your mom, or somebody might be telling you a really deep, intimate. They might be crying on the phone, sharing, and you don't want to like interrupt them. So I usually send a text, "Hey, I'm gonna call you right back." If I can't do that, if I'm driving and he calls me right back, I know answer the phone. So this particular day, I think he was on the phone with one of his friends. I ain't gonna say no names, but he probably know who he is.
Oh, okay.
And I called him, and it wasn't an emergency, so I didn't call him back. But once he called me back, I was like, "Who was you talking to?" He told me. And I said, "You need to get off the phone when I call you."
Because you said you was feeling some way
because I have white privilege. But I call you.
But listen, though, you understand?
Especially if he wasn't talking about nothing.
But see, this is the thing. Do you understand how many times I call her and she don't answer the phone and she send me that "I'll call you back"? Like, ain't nobody but Jesus more important to me when you call.
If you call me right back, I'm gonna answer the phone. No, you know the code.
Whatever, because she's talking about the code, but she don't even use the code herself.
Baby, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
She do sometimes, but
if
not
I
all
call
the
you,
time.
because I don't use it unless it's an emergency. If I call you right back, then oh man, hold on, let me call you back, or let me see what's up. I might have a flat tire. I might be I might lock the keys in the car.
I just thought of a great example.
What?
Yesterday, when I was walking into the building to take care of some business, my phone was in my pocket. It took all of 2 minutes. And so when I got to where I was going, I picked the phone up. I said, oh, she called me. I'm talking about getting out of my car, walking into the building, getting on the elevator, sitting down, and then I pick my phone up and say, oh, she called me. Let me call her back and see what she wants. And what you say?
I don't know.
What took you so long
to call me back?
Hold on. This is my story.
Okay.
It's been 3 minutes for me to walk to the car, to walk into the building. She was like, why you didn't answer your phone? I mean, look, y'all, I had a handful of things in both hands.
You have 40 bags. You don't got your hands ain't full.
They were full. Both of my hands was full, and I already broke my phone this year. So I don't want to break my phone. But I'm like, okay. See, she be wanting daddy. She be wanting to talk to daddy. That's what it is.
You gave it away because what you said is, I picked up my phone and saw, oh, she called me.
When I sat down.
Right. But you weren't about to call me back. You happened to look at your phone and see.
No, I was going to call you back.
Anyway, we on privileges.
But the point is, she had a privilege. She had an expectation because she my wife.
Yes, absolutely.
That I should answer that phone, even though I should have answered it with my feet. I apologize.
You should have, because you don't know what I wanted.
So let's get to some of these comments real quick. Hold on, y'all.
Hey, Tony Massey. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, that's Ursita. What's up, fam?
Hey,
we miss you too. Thank you for joining us tonight. She joined us on YouTube.
So good to see you back, sis. That's my sis right there, y'all.
Let's see. Johnny said, "Pretty girls do expect more."
They do. They really do. And some of them, more? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
You expect more because you're pretty?
I don't expect nothing.
You want me to answer the phone with my feet?
I expect from you, but I don't expect from others. I have an expectation, right? But I expect from you, but it's not more. It's the bare minimum of what the expectation is because you married to me.
We miss seeing and hearing from you too, sis.
Thank you.
We got our good brother Tony Massey coming in from ATL.
Thank you.
He posted a dope post today on his Facebook.
Oh, okay. I gotta go check it out.
Yeah,
I gotta check it out.
Know about it.
And then what
Johnny said, my wife is spoiled and I don't know why. Because
you spoiled her. It's because she's your wife.
But you know what? And I got something good for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. And then Johnny said, boy, I thought I was the only one. My wife do the same thing and answer, what's up? Oh, we got some more comments here.
Oh, my God. It's true, y'all.
Let's see. Tony said, the funny thing is all of the scenarios that she imagined happened in that 3 minutes. You right, bro. You right.
And that's a part of it. That's really it. Because it's like, why you not answering this phone? Shoot. It don't make me call you at work.
Palante said, that's why you got to. I do have Bluetooth, but I couldn't answer.
See, that's the point. See what I'm saying? Thank you, Palante. You need to get a Bluetooth that say, answer phone. You need to get a voice activated.
They ain't made that one. You want me to have one of them trucker Bluetooths like Bobby Brown used to have with the big mic, the big boom microphone and stuff.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Earth said, girl, I'm great. Oh, you want to read
girl, I'm great. I will. Y'all are good. Yeah, you should have answered with your earpods or headset. High five, sis. See, you already know we be in this thing together, you know. Don't say nothing, because you know. Now,
but let me tell you about this expectation, these privileges. The same energy you giving me.
Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna expect. So
you should.
Okay.
Damon, you should. Every time I don't answer your phone, you call, you be like, why you didn't answer? Why you send me that text? Because you didn't call me right back, so I figured it could wait.
Y'all heard it
till I call you back.
Y'all heard it here first.
See,
next week, I'm gonna be like, she ain't answer.
If you don't follow the Morse code, then that's your bad. Because if I call you twice, you don't answer. We really.
Nah, you be like that on one call though, for real.
But it's one call.
I know. You like, why you didn't answer the phone? I was on the toilet.
Well, if I call you and you don't call me back after that one call, it's like.
But then if I call her, if I'm in the bathroom, she'd be like, yeah.
That's nasty. Don't call me in the bathroom. Don't call me in the bathroom. That's gross. Let's not even go there. That is nasty.
Let's see what Johnny said. He said, nah, I learned to her phone right by her ear when I go to work.
That's right. Good man, good man. What she say?
She said, Damon, if he don't answer at first attempt, he getting blocked.
Dang, she done blocked him. Golly.
Let's see what Tony said. Every happy man knows the rules are written in pencil and wives have sole possession of their races.
Yeah. White privilege. Privilege to make some changes.
So did you have something? Because I wrote a couple of things.
No, I mean, we were just kind of
so having had a little fun right now. I am of the old school of thought and how a man is and how a man treats a wife. Mm-hmm. So tonight, what I wanted to do is allow everyone to have an ear to what I feel like are things, because another way that you can talk about privilege is a benefit. Mm-hmm. So some of the benefits of being married, and what I'm going to do is let you guys in on some of the things that have happened and developed over the 20 plus years that we've been together, that you can hear and see that we've come to this point. But let me give a disclaimer first to my people that haven't been married that long. Number one, don't compare your husband to these things, because a lot of this stuff I just started doing yesterday.
Your relationship, period.
Yeah. This isn't a comparison thing. These are things that we've learned and have done and have accumulated over the years. Mm-hmm. So just remember, you're hearing from a man that's been married over 20 years. So as we go through and we kind of talk about and just kind of chop this stuff up, just know that don't have any I'm not saying don't have any expectations, but just comparisons, and know where you are within your relationship. Right. You know what I'm saying?
You always want to be striving to be better. Just know that it's not an overnight process, because it's taking us a while to get to where we are, and we still working on stuff.
Right. And we say this all the time. This is it's a marathon and it's not a sprint.
Right.
And just realize that as you get to one checkpoint, there'll be another checkpoint for you to get to.
Right.
And you never arrive. We should continuously be striving to grow within our marriage.
Right. Excuse me.
So, we got some of the regular ones, you got protection, stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to hit on some different ones. Mm-hmm. Okay. I hate that my handwriting is so bad.
So you don't even know what you wrote.
So one of the benefits that you could have, a wife can have in our marriage is that it should be healing.
Mm-hmm. That's a privilege.
Yes. Privilege, benefit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I looked up the definition of a benefit. Privilege is, and one of them is benefit. Mm-hmm. And so, and I'm going to be reading, so y'all bear with me. A good marriage is supposed to be healing. A husband who is a student of his wife should know when she hurts. And so the way that you find that out is through communication. Mm-hmm. You should be able to study and know when something is off about your wife. That's one thing we were talking about this just the other day. We know each other really well, in the things that are spoken, and also, and also the things that aren't, the things that are unspoken. Mm-hmm. There could be a look. It could be the way that you're walking around. Right. It could be, the way you said, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be the tone. It could be the energy, the inflection. If I hear this, or for example, she'll be like, why are you breathing like that? I'm like, what? How am I breathing? I don't listen to how am I breathing? I'm not listening to how I'm breathing, but because we've been together for so long, she picks up on things that someone else may not have necessarily known.
Right.
So once you find out what these things are, what those issues are, you take those things, you pray about those things.
Right.
Because that's one of the things that you should do as a husband.
Right. And then too, there are certain pressures that each person, each spouse has. So there are certain pressures of being a wife, and there are certain pressures as being a husband. But I think the piece that we miss, like what you said about studying your wife, and is the empathy piece, because you may feel like what you have going on and what the responsibilities that you hold are greater than the responsibilities that she may hold. But that doesn't negate how that weight feels to each individual person. It's almost like if you're talking about a teenager, something happened at school to them, that's the same.
That's huge.
That's the same thing as you not being able to pay your rent. Like, it's the same weight. So not negating what that weight feels like to each person, and for both people to make sure that they're empathizing with whatever that is. If you it's apples to apples. You know what I'm saying? People in the world might think, oh,
that's not a big deal.
Yeah, that ain't a big deal. He got to pay the bills. Right. All you worried about is, cooking this meal. But it don't matter what it is to someone else. What matters is what it feels like to you.
Right.
And if you're being a steward of your spouse, a student of your spouse, and you'll know when they're off, when things are, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to throw that in there as a caveat, to just be empathetic to each other's plight, each other's pressures. Although they're not the same, they still could weigh the same to each individual person.
That's good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moving on. Wholeness. This benefit. Wholeness in your mind, wholeness in your body, and wholeness in your spirit.
So, that benefits. That's the privilege to whom?
Benefit.
But to who?
To you.
To the wife?
For me to be whole.
Oh,
is
it's
a
benefit to me.
you.
Okay. I'm following you.
Hey, I'm with you. I can explain it.
Okay.
So, but before I do that, let me get to these comments. Let's see. Tony said, every happy man.
We already read that.
No, we did.
Yes, we did.
You read that? Okay.
Go ahead. I'm
gonna take your word for it. Oh yeah, we did read that. See, I'm big enough to know I make a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
It's all good. Okay, Tony. Another comment from Tony. Husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. Facts.
I like that. I like that a lot. And then Johnny says, "Amen, and hallelujah."
So, wholeness in your mind, body, and spirit. With the pressures of everything that are going on in the world right now, mental health has become a very big thing.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and so,
Lord.
Especially in our community, there's been a big push as of late for you to check on your mental health because, we are, they say that we have PTSD that's come generationally from slavery.
Right.
So don't be afraid to go talk to somebody if you're having some mental stuff going on. I did it a couple of years ago where I went and I sat down with a therapist because I had some stuff that was going on. Right. And it's important so that it is of benefit to my wife that mentally I'm here and I'm able to function in the way that I need to function in order to benefit her within this relationship.
Right.
And
be mindful that when you are getting that counseling, that if they're telling you something that just is not sitting well with you, just fire them and find you another one that's going to be a benefit. I'm just being so serious because I went and talked to therapists too, several of them, and because I don't think I know better than them, but I know what you're telling me is not right. Because if you start telling me stuff like, well, maybe you should get a divorce, that means that you're talking to me out of your hurt in your past. I need you to therapy me based on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be my therapist, not based on the therapy that you need, but based on
that's good. That's a really good point.
Yeah, based on your degrees. Okay.
That's good.
So I just want to throw that in there, but we are definitely advocates for counseling, both individually and marriage counseling. So that's pertinent and vital because we've got a lot. You be having stuff, and you could just be like, I just ain't felt myself. Okay, I've been physically, off. It's just
something in me just been off. Yeah,
you may not know. It's just something deep seated, just some stuff that need to be plucked up from the root.
Right. And Julia said, depression is real. It is not a joke. People truly don't take it as seriously as it is.
That's so true, Julia. Oh
my
God.
And let me add to that. Getting help or talking to somebody is not a form of weakness.
Right.
It takes real strength for you to realize that you need to talk to somebody about something that's going on within you.
Right.
So remember that.
Yep.
The next part of that was your body. Do your Tabo. You know what I'm saying? Do your P90X, do your Thigh Master, whatever it is that you need, because it's going to be a benefit to my wife if I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
And
here
healthy.
and I'm healthy, and
Right.
I'm able to contribute to the forward movement of our home.
Right.
And another part of that of the physical part is, brothers, and I'm especially talking to my black brothers, go get checkups.
Yeah.
I know it's scary. I know you don't want to get your prostate check. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do it, because it's a benefit to your wife for you to be alive.
It absolutely is.
And you don't want to know that there was something that could have been addressed.
You could have been proactive
and
about.
You could have been proactive instead of reactive.
Right.
And something could have been caught early, but because you're in fear of going to the doctor, because fear mobilizes you, and it stops you from doing the things that you need to do.
Right.
So go get checked out. Go get your yearly physical. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything is working good, because as getting older, it becomes even more imperative that you do those things. So make sure that you're doing that. And then last, did you want to add something?
Go ahead.
And then lastly, spirit is spiritual leadership. Whatever it is that you practice. We believe in God, so that's going to church, prayer, spending time with God. Those are the things that we do.
Right.
And that is part of you being whole, your mind, your body, and your spirit. All three of those things.
Personal development.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those things contribute to your wholeness.
Right. Look at that. Get that. Oh man. Ursita says, I just had a very close friend take his life, and his wife had no idea after 22 years that he was not able to share that, because Black men think they have to stay strong. And that is so true. And that's why I tell him all the time, like Damien, he has a really good friend that he talks to. They talk all the time, like on a daily. But I'm so grateful that he has that, because a lot of men don't talk. They don't have anybody that they feel like they can share with and be themselves and be vulnerable. And I think even as you have gotten older, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're starting to realize more that you really need that, because I think a lot of times men are just like, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But you need somebody, because women gonna talk.
Right.
We're gonna find somebody to talk to.
and it's ingrained in us that if you talk or if you open up, that's a form of weakness. It's considered a form of weakness.
Right.
And it's like you just taking that stuff and it's just stewing inside of you.
Right.
It's just boiling.
Right.
And if you don't get that stuff off of you, and I really hate to hear that. And just be aware. Yes. You gotta talk to somebody,
because what you're not realizing is what's going on in you is affecting how you're treating her, your wife, your children, the people around you, and you might not even recognize it, because you just thinking that you just being normal. But if somebody really loves you and they really know you, they know that something up. I don't know what it is, but it's something, So I hope that helps. Right. And Ursita said, let's see what Johnny says. Yes, spirituality is important.
Yeah.
And Ursita says, right. And strength is getting help. That's
right.
Absolutely true, man.
That's true strength.
I don't know where that that came from. The myth came from that, like, getting therapy and counseling is weak or something is wrong with that. Like, who said that? Who told us that?
Right. And so seeing this is a really good point, and it's going to flow right into the next point. But
I said that was your last one.
For that point.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got some subpoints and sub,
because we still got 26 more minutes.
Well, okay. Oh, go ahead, because I'm
So another thing is that I think, and I'm gonna call the women out. Women sometimes perpetuate that.
Perpetuate what?
That it's that you don't.
Men don't talk.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Why, because we see this and we hear this, and in the content that we research and all that kind of stuff, it's like, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this point. The next point is vulnerability.
And I was gonna say that's a privilege that wives have, not the vulnerability, but the part of they can say what they want to say.
Yeah.
But then when he says certain things that you may be unlearned about because of your past and your history. Mm-hmm. Oh, men don't cry. Or why he acting like a broad? Or why you acting like a big? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most hurtful thing I think you can say to a dude that's trying to take care of you, and be this leader, and be, you know what I'm saying, the headship of y'all's home, and you telling him he acting like a bitch, like you acting like a broad, like that is like that's like spitting on me. Don't. And
the thing is that's part of human emotion.
It's talking the highest about form of disrespect.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the thing too. Like I feel like sometimes people don't allow men to be human because you're human.
Especially black men.
Yeah, you're human first, and you just happen to be a man. But just like how they do little black boys, and they perpetuate that. Don't cry, be strong. Boys don't cry. They do.
That's what Palante just said. Just
especially if they're 4 years old.
We were told big boys don't cry, exactly. But we need release.
Absolutely.
Because because what we don't realize is that's a filter for us. That's the way that we get stuff out of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because that stuff turns into stress. Mm-hmm. It turns into high blood pressure. It turns into anxiety.
Right.
It can turn into depression.
Anger.
Oh, anger is a big one. Anger is a big one.
Anger is usually you just feel like you have no control. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're powerless, and it comes out in the form of just being angry, like almost like having a tantrum, because you never were allowed to have emotion. You never were allowed to speak up and just ask a question and say, okay, well, but can I ask you why?
Right.
Like, we don't ask no why. So like in our house when we grow up, you want to know why?
Because I said so. Yeah.
And even though what you said don't even make no sense. Okay. And then you be like, that's just so, they don't even make, you know what I'm saying? And I see kids nowadays, they parents be telling them something like, because I said so. You see the kid like, oh, like, it's just.
And so Ursita said, well, society is one of the big ones.
Yes.
And
yes.
Palante said releasing is also healing.
Yes. Oh Lord, he finna make me shout at me. Because sometimes I just feel so much better when I cry.
And then Earth says society doesn't allow men to be open and vulnerable with their mental health. Mm-hmm.
Their mental health, or just anything for that fact. And then Palante says facts, Jamie.
Oh, you want me to put that?
Anger is a form of hurt. I was just saying that the last thing. See, anger is a form of hurt, and then and that's coming from a man.
Yep.
So it's just, I think that when we talk about privilege, people just don't recognize what privilege even, and that's another thing for women. That's the privilege that we don't recognize that we have, is that we get to be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. We get to cry. We get to lash out and throw stuff and feel a type of way, and it's just like, oh my gosh, she's emotional. Maybe she on her period. But if a man do that, oh, he crazy.
Right.
He abusive. Oh, I can't. Okay, he's having a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you did last week when they didn't have your Rocky Road ice cream in the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. So let's hit these comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm looking at my phone. Yeah, that's why y'all see me looking down here, looking at my notes.
Palante say anger is a form of hurt. Mm-hmm. And then he said, or better yet, unresolved hurt.
Oh, that's it.
Good.
Let me clap you up on that. That's it right there. That deep-seated, unresolved, and you be saying, I'm good. I don't even care about that anymore. That didn't bother me. Yes.
And sometimes because things are unresolved is because we don't even know that they're there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's true.
And then sometimes they've been unresolved for so long, when somebody starts to recognize them in you, like your wife. Mm-hmm.
Or your husband.
And you'll say, no, I don't. I don't do that. That don't even matter to me. I'm not like, and it's like, you don't even recognize that you know.
Sometimes we don't recognize our trauma triggers.
Oh my God. Or that the trauma is even there.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. You're right about that.
Like if I say red jelly bean and you just start running down the street. Something happened to you when you was a little girl with them red jelly beans, and if I say it, or if you see one, you just take off running down the street.
Not red jelly bean.
I'm
gonna start using it. That's gonna be our code word. Red jelly
bean.
Mm-hmm.
So another benefit or privilege
Mhm.
is leadership.
Mhm.
I'm going to read this, guys.
So we're privileged that we wives have the privilege of not having to what not having to be leaders, or that the fact that y'all
That
are leaders.
yeah, you have the benefit of it.
Oh, well, we benefit if you
If
walk
you're
in your
if you're
leadership.
yeah
So y'all,
appropriate.
if you walk in your leadership,
See, that's
she gets privileges.
yeah, that's what
I'm just saying
yeah.
for the people.
When you are leading, oh, okay, where are you leading? And this is another thing. All leadership ain't good leadership.
That's what I was just. That's
Yeah,
the point I was making.
because people are you might be a leader regardless, but it doesn't mean that you're leading appropriately or that you're leading in the right way.
And the influence that you have, you don't recognize sometimes the influence that you have, and that's a form of leadership.
Yeah, and you should be moving towards better things. That's a very big sign of if the leadership is effective. Is that we're going towards bigger and better things. If I'm leading and things are getting worse, or I'm saying, hey, go take this package and go give it to that guy over there, and he's gonna give you some money. I don't give you any explanation to that. And then he's gonna give you, and with that package, he's gonna give you this white substance.
Oh no!
See, that's not good
no.
leadership. I'm not leading you effectively.
That's scary. I ain't taking nothing nowhere. And then that's you be like, see, you ain't submissive. You ain't following instructions.
Right. I just need you to be a wife and don't say nothing and go take this package,
so you can be privileged.
Because this package is gonna benefit you. That's what you don't realize.
Oh Lord.
That's your wifely privilege, is that this package is gonna benefit you.
Lord have mercy.
So as a leader, not only do you have to be a leader. Oh, did you have anything?
I was just making sure
not only do you have to be a leader, but you have to have strategy to go along with leadership.
That's good.
Leadership and strategy go hand in hand. And again, let me just reiterate: these are things that we've learned along the way. This is not. We didn't know this in our first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of marriage. These are things that have been being developed over the years.
Right.
And so basically, strategy is a plan or a method or series of maneuvers.
Okay.
And for you, in order for you to I like the way you turn over and look. She gave me that.
Ooh, I get to the tail, boy.
I'm sorry. She twisted that her did this, and then she gave me this look. I'm sorry. You got.
Boy, get to the thing. I don't even know what you're talking about.
So, in order for you to be strategic in your leadership, you know what you have to do?
Lead, serve.
No.
Oh, yes.
You have to study to be a leader.
Okay.
Because how I know that my leadership is effective if I'm not studying and getting plans and things together for where we're going.
Yeah.
So you have to, in your strategic in leadership, you have to be studying and determining, okay, what's the next move? Where are we going? What are we doing? What's the plan? Right. Because let me tell y'all something, especially being married to a sister. If you tell her something, she gonna want to know, okay, don't say it.
Where we going?
And
how we gonna get there? And when we gonna do it? What you talking about?
AKA, what's the plan?
Oh, I'm like, all of that. We gonna want to know all that.
She gonna want to know. Shoot. So how we getting there?
It comes with a plethora of questions.
Right.
You can't just say, "Oh, I got a plan." Oh, we finna do what? Oh, we is okay. Oh, so we finna do that. Okay, so when? Okay, so how much that's gonna cost? Okay, so and then what's the next thing? Like we got to reverse engineer this thing. Like, okay, this is where we're trying to get to. So what do we need to be doing right now to get to that point?
Good.
You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about,
I do. I agree with you.
And when you talk about what am I saying? Studying and leadership. Sometimes in leadership, it doesn't call for you to feel like you always gotta be doing something. Because I feel like sometimes men can feel like, oh, well, we're not going nowhere, or I'm not doing anything to spearhead some sort of movement, especially I want to say maybe early in marriage too,
Okay.
because sometimes a good leader comes in and sees what's going on. Because if I don't even know what's going on, I don't even know what things need to be worked on, need to be fixed. Like, okay, because when I'm paying attention, I can see what things are working and what things aren't working. Versus you just coming in trying to lead and switch up stuff. You running amok and you causing confusion. So there are levels to, leadership. Of course, servanthood is the key, but also paying attention to what works and what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
And I was just going to add one thing to that. Every good leader knows that you have people that you can consult in your strategic leadership. Meaning, don't think as a leader, don't be so much in yourself and in your pride that you don't talk to your wife.
Nobody leads by themselves. Nobody does.
And some people do lead by themselves, but we're talking about being effective leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah, being effective.
On the same page.
Right. To be an effective leader, like, because, I'm a man, like, yo, I got it. And I didn't have it a lot of times.
And to be an effective leader, you have to first be willing to hear. Like, if you don't even know what the issue is, how can you say you finna lead me somewhere or do something to affect change when you don't even know what my grievances are? You don't even know where I'm coming from to be able to say, oh, I'm gonna change that. Well, you don't even know what to change. So when you say be a student, you have to be a student of her,
Right.
And because my thing is, you should have been doing a whole bunch of studies and study halls before you said and asked that woman to marry you. Because I tell him all the time, women feel honored. Like, out of all of the women in all of the world, you asked me to marry you. Like, we should feel a privilege that he chose us. He chose you. It's because what they say, how many men it is, how many women it is to men. It's a whole bunch of them. But he chose, there was something about you that made him choose you. And even if it was like, well, he said God, that don't mean he had to follow what God said. And even on the flip side of that, you should be privileged too as a husband. She said yes. She chose you, because there could have been some other Tom, Dick, and Harry that said, hey, come and be my wife. And she would have been like, I'm going to go over there. You know what I'm saying? So just recognizing the privileges that you have and knowing that it should be an honor. That's why women take a man's last name, because I feel honored to be your wife. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not an effective leader and you a trash husband, I don't feel no honor. I'm giving my name back. Take your name back, and I'm gonna go by my maiden name. And people how they don't even know you married. Sure don't. You don't need to know, because you ain't doing nothing.
Let's hit some of these comments real quick. Let's see. Johnny said, I feel better when I kill bugs. For those that don't know, y'all, Johnny has his own
best exterminator in the
pest
land.
Control company. When I kill bugs, but y'all right, most nice guys got hard women, and the best thing my wife could have ever realized, I just added the word, could have realized, is that I'm trying to change because she is a boss. But because she sees me leading her the right way, she has relaxed a lot. No, I'm in a position where I have to walk that walk. Also, I know she has changed my life.
See, that is so beautiful. Good. Thank you for saying that, because you hear all of this. What do a woman bring to the table? What does she? What? Just hush, okay? Because women affect change in men.
They do.
I mean, I've seen it. I ain't no man, but I have seen, like, she calmed the beast. Like, wow. I ain't never known nobody be able to do that. Go ahead.
Then Johnny said he love you. I do love her. She all right.
He love me some days. I think he love me every day. He like me some days.
See, Ben said sometimes we don't deal with things and it festers.
Yes, absolutely. I love that word, festers.
Yep. Johnny said, you're absolutely right, Damien. And then Ben said, facts, leadership is strategic.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
and then
indeed.
Ben said she wants to know who, what, where, when, why, how.
And which. So, that's real talk right there.
Let's see. Julia said, a lot of time people don't feel comfortable sharing because people are not compassionate. And you have to.
And you talking to them.
And you talking to them. They may go share what you say with everyone else. You want to be able to have that true friend that you can talk to, and it stays between the two of you, and you need that encouragement and positivity.
That's another form of privilege. Husband wife privilege. Don't tell nobody my stuff.
Right.
I ain't gonna tell nobody your stuff.
Right.
Unless we've decided, well, we gonna talk, we gonna share this. But there should be a privilege in the relationship amongst husband and wife.
Right.
Confidentiality.
See, Johnny said, my wife is a beast. I'm nice, but she's mean. But I can control her sometimes.
That is hilarious. I can control her sometimes. Oh Lord.
And let's see, Earth said, yeah, but women can affect negatively too.
Yes, they can.
Yep.
Yes, they can.
And then she said women should bring something to the table too.
Well, they do. But what they bring to the table is subjective to each individual man. So yeah, we gonna have to do a video about that. We gonna because we hear that all the time about what women bring to the table, and it's like, and one lady said, "I am the table." I said, "Well, dang, she the whole table." What was I going to say? Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, when we talk about privileges and stuff like that, people give you a certain level of privilege when they know that you're the wife or the husband. Like, you could be somewhere and they be like, "Oh, can you sign this or can you do that?" And then you be like, you can let her do it. He's like, and you're like, "This is my wife," and then they're like, "Oh, okay." Like, it's a whole different mentality. Or that's my husband. He can do. Oh, okay. Well, and then they don't even talk to you no more because they know you the husband. Like, we just bought a washer. So we went into wherever we went, and the man was asking me stuff because the women are about the aesthetics and the stuff and how they work and whatever. And I was like, well, you can ask him. That's my husband. He didn't talk to me no more because I'm roaming around the store looking at other stuff.
I thought she had left the store. She was that gone.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a privilege, and people give you a certain level of respect when they know that that's your husband or your wife. So, even like in some of the other religious communities where they have multiple wives, like that first wife seems to be like the one that they feel like is like the head wife, and she gets a certain level of respect. So if you the first wife, because you're the only wife, then there should be a privilege there. There is a privilege there, and I think sometimes we don't recognize that we have a privilege. I've learned this as I've gotten older because I really appreciate him bearing the brunt of some of the things that for me can be a tad bit stressing and overwhelming. Like, my stressors I can be triggered, and he can take that on for me. And I'm so grateful because I have the privilege of saying, okay, well, I'm gonna let him handle that. Everybody doesn't have that privilege because, number one, they may not be married, and number two, they may not have a husband who is willing or has gained the ability to learn how to do that yet. So, and I'll say, women that got good men and y'all got these husbands out here doing all this stuff, let's keep it a buck. Sometimes women, we can take them for granted. It's just is what it is. And I'm telling you this from what I know, not from what I heard, because I did it. And we had this conversation, even when it comes to sex and all of the things, because you feel like, and I say this all the time, you have a privilege because your husband just may be a good guy. It's not because he don't want to go out there and get booty and do some other stuff. He may just be a good person to his core and say, you know what? I don't want to do that. I ain't gonna feel right. It ain't even about you. It's about the fact that he knows I don't want to do her like that. So he's even considering you in that. And I think sometimes we don't consider what they consider. And I know, and everybody's like, well, I consider stuff too. I know, but we talking about them right now. So I just say that because, again, this was personal for me, and it's easy to just feel like this is what they supposed to do until you start recognizing it's a lot of people that ain't supposed to do it, and you got a good one. Let's raise our hand and say thank you.
And sometimes
say thank you and don't take them for granted.
And I think sometimes when you've been with someone for an extended period of time, we don't realize how blessed we really are. That's true. Not just talking about me, but I'm just talking about both parties. That's true. You can have a tendency of taking that person for granted.
Absolutely.
I mean, we know people that used to be married that aren't married anymore, and they like, bro, sis, stay in because it's crazy out here. And the stuff
Yes.
that and this is the thing that floors me is like the smallest, most minute things that should be are really considered normal are blown out of proportion.
Right.
Now it's like what's one of the things you hear from single women or women that are, you know, out and dating and everything, and something that they are blown away by that's just really
opening your door for you. He opened my door every time we went somewhere. He opened the door. He came around and we went to the thing. He opened the door. He didn't walk in front of me, and I'm like, wow. But this is the world that we live in. That those things that should be normal and should be the standard is a high. What's the word? I can't even think of the word I'm trying to say. Like a high mark. Like you get a gold star. Yes, a high standard. But it's like that should be the bare minimum. Like walk to the door if you're going on a date and come get me. Like don't blow the horn and be like, come on, mama, come on. Dang, you don't even want to be chivalrous in the beginning. Like you don't even want to front for company. Like, job. So, and then I know women that have been divorced or could have been in a long-term relationship, but now they're by themselves, and it's hard. I'm speaking from a woman, and I know it's a lot of boss bitches out here. Don't get it wrong. I ain't the boss. I'm proud to be interdependent because life gets hard, and when you're doing it by yourself, it's that much harder. So I know people now. It's like just in the small things, it's so much to do because you're trying to work, take care of the house, take care of the kids, take care of the taxes, take care of trying to build a business, whatever you're doing, building legacy, all of this stuff by yourself. And it's hard. Like I now being older, when I was young, I was like, we can do that, I can do this, you know. But when you get older, you start to appreciate really what you have and who you have, and that you're on a team and that we're working collectively for the greater good of our lives. Yeah. You know?
I agree with that.
So
Music Soul Child, one of our favorite artists, he had a song called Better Man. And so, you know, people out here say you should be healed, whole, and happy when you get with somebody, but everybody's not that way, y'all. And the thing we don't realize is that you being with that person could be the thing or the catalyst that they needed in order for you to become your best version, because God knew when I put this person and this person together, it's going to be explosive.
Right.
But you couldn't there are certain things, because what can happen is if things go the way that we want and everything, we start thinking it's us.
Right.
Or we start taking credit and saying, well, I, me. I'll be the first person to admit I am a better man because I'm married to this woman. I'm not the same person that I was 25 years ago. And it's because of her. And it ain't always this.
It's the same for me. It's the same for me because they say you need to be whole. But sometimes you don't even realize what those broken places until you get into a relationship.
Right.
Like you can have this bottle of water right here. It's empty. And you can go and, whatever. It's not until someone pours something inside and it starts to leak that you realize, oh, there's a leak in this old building. Like the song say. You don't even But sometimes you don't even recognize it until you get with that person who helps you to heal and mend those cracks. Don't mean you have to be broken. Don't mean all of that. But
and it doesn't mean that you're weak either.
It doesn't, because I say this all the time. I told my son, I didn't love me when we got together because you need to love yourself before somebody else can love you. I didn't love me. He helped me love me because of the way he loved me. So I understand what everybody says. I get that. But there are some exceptions.
And some of these people are talking and don't know. Some of these people are saying, this is the way that I want it. It should be this way.
Right.
But you don't, because sometimes it's because you haven't experienced something. You just don't know.
That's so true.
You just don't know yet.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Just like we use this example all the time. People with kids.
Yep.
It's one thing to have kids, and it's one thing to not have children.
Right. Absolutely.
And there's no shade to those people. You just may have not reached that point in your life yet. Right. But you have to be careful of being so matter of fact about things that you don't know yet.
You're really being judgmental. Absolutely. But I'll just say this, y'all. Just You're not gonna always be a whole person. You may think that you, and that's the thing, you think that you are till you get in that relationship, because you cannot work on you and become a better self, a better you outside of others. You can't just be at home by yourself in your room talking about, oh,
I
I'm
got it
working
all
on
together.
me.
Yeah.
I know I'm better. Based on what? You? Because you're right, you're reading your own press, you're writing your own book. So how do you know that you're better outside of other people in other relationships?
Because your better could be trash.
The word of the day, trash and red jelly bean.
And Johnny said, she is old. And he said, my wife tell me the same thing. Jamie said, she said, I love her more than she loved herself.
I'm telling you. And because you start to realize, like, why is he like this about me? Like, he obviously sees something. He used to always say, you need to learn how to see you the way that other people see you. I wish that I could see you. Right. And I wish that you could see you the way that I see you. And I know the God thing, of course, that goes without saying, but I'm saying in the sense of this relationship, you being able to see me in a way that I didn't see myself helped me to see myself and to become better, So I really hope that helps somebody, but I hear that all the time. You can't love nobody unless you love yourself. I love a whole bunch of people, but I didn't love myself. Yep. Can't nobody love you if you don't love yourself. That ain't true, because they can love you into loving you.
That's real. That's
just my personal opinion. Yeah, and it's gonna be hard. Don't get me wrong.
And sometimes it's easier to love somebody else than it is to love yourself, because it takes away the accountability.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And don't think it ain't gonna be no pushback. But if you really want that person and you see greatness and you see beauty and love and kindness inside of them, then you will work and you'll stay in it and be like, nah, she ain't gonna run me off, or he not gonna run me off, because I see in him what it is.
And vice versa.
Right. Exactly.
That was a quick hour.
So yeah, that's our time.
That is our time. This came all the way up to the wire.
We didn't get a chance to ask people, do they have questions?
We can take one question. Johnny said, I seen potential.
That's see, and a lot of people don't marry potential and don't go into a relationship based on potential. Well, I wouldn't say don't go in, but if you see that someone has potential, you're not gonna even give them a chance. I'm not saying go all the way in based on the potential.
And we're not talking about the potential of them having a rap career, y'all. We're not talking, and no shade to the rappers, but I'm just saying, a lot of these, this is the thing, a lot of these people y'all listen to, they're not married.
They're not married.
Or if they married, they divorced, and it's like.
And a lot of the people you listen to, they didn't give it a chance.
Right. Some things just take time to develop.
Does.
Just really like if you've heard, y'all Google how long it takes for a bamboo plant or a tree or shrub to grow. It takes like 99 years, and then one day it just freakishly grows out of the ground.
Right.
Some things just take time to develop. And I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go, I promise. Sometimes the greater the thing, the longer it takes for it to develop.
Right. Especially
if it ain't nothing, it might have it. Yeah. But if it's something great or big, or if there's a lot of purpose behind something, it just takes time for it to develop. It just does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because anything worth having, it's gonna take time.
Yeah. And are you willing to wait?
Some of the things that we're talking about and have dealt with in our relationship, it took 17 years of being married and dealing with the same stuff. 17 years, 18 years, 10 years, and different parts and markers of our relationship. But both her and I agreed we're gonna rock this thing till the wheels fall off.
Because it's based on the person and the core of who that person is, not just, oh well, he might make $80,000 next year, or she seemed like she can cook or might be good in the bed. They're deeper core things that matter, that make you stay or put in the time and do the hard work. It's like with anything else, anything that you're trying to achieve in your life, if you really want it, you're gonna keep going.
If you really want
it.
Because guess what? You could take that same situation, split up with that person, and then start all the way over. Because you still the same person.
You still the same.
And you still pointing your finger at that person, but you didn't do the work for yourself.
That's like saying something in here smells. It's your shirt. So Everywhere you go, well, I'm gonna leave here because it smells in here. Then you go to the next place. Oh, it smells in here. It's you.
You funky.
So stay somewhere long enough for somebody, and you will find somebody that will just say to you, I think there's a weird type of scent or smell coming from you to help you see yourself. Because that a lot of times
you funky.
People don't help you see yourself.
They don't.
They just talk about you to the next person.
And that when you're with the right person, they're going to show you yourself, because sometimes you can't see yourself.
That's so real.
And I had stuff about that here, but I got to cut it off because I had like 7-8 more points. But you know, we'll hit these last few comments and then we're gonna sign out. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Naima, hey, what's going on, girl? Naima. That's my buddy from back in the day. 3 to 5 years for bamboo to grow. Also, I love this work you guys are doing.
Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate
we really
that.
Appreciate
Thank you so much. And then
Johnny,
let's see.
If you start the fight, then fight.
That's
what
right.
I'm saying.
Stick in there. Don't run. Don't run.
And she said, Naima said it's a word already.
Keep that same energy.
Yeah.
That's
don't
what
get
I'm
scared.
saying.
Don't be scared.
Shoot, don't be scared.
Because it got hard.
Yeah.
You're gonna be happy.
Keep that same energy. Just like Johnny, I give you like for you. What if you would have said, "Oh, this is too hard. I don't want to be controlling these pests." You know what I'm saying?
Because it got hard.
Yeah, because it got hard. Then where's your business? That's with anything. But when it comes to love and matters of the heart, it's like love and logic don't mix.
Right.
People like, no, I ain't gonna do that over here
because it's too hard.
So.
Well, I don't think we had any questions, guys. So we're gonna sign off. We will see y'all next Tuesday.
And we will be talking about something.
That'll be our topic, something. Thank y'all for tuning in to Marriage Monday on Tuesday. We love y'all.
Marriage is real, y'all.
Y'all have a good night.
Deuces.
Go have some dinner.
And trays.
And with some more comments. You want me to get them comments?
I don't see no more comments.
They say 2 comments.
Oh, okay. Oh. They just say good night. Love y'all. Love y'all too. Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all. Thank you for the hearts. We appreciate y'all. We're going to get out here. Please go subscribe to Everything Marriage is Real. When you type in Marriage is Real in Google with no spaces, it's us. It's all us. I told her yesterday. I was like, bam, it's all us. It's just us. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
we just going to keep rocking. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
This is in Trey. What?